Great morning, great morning, great morning. It is that time, 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, here on WDRB.com, the voice of the community, the It's About You radio show here each and every Tuesday morning. My name is Maurice McDonald. I have the pleasure and honor and the privilege of having this platform to share this amazing information designed to enlighten you, to get into your ears, into your heart, and perhaps into your legs so that you will move and become the best possible person you can be. I like to share this information with you each and every Tuesday morning because I wear it before I share it. A lot of times information will come to me or ideas will come to me or thoughts for shows, or I'm having a conversation with someone, I meet someone, they drop a dime, or my creator, my God, will share information with me while driving or being with someone in a conversation, and wow, there it is. And I take that very seriously, and it is a privilege, as I said before, to have this platform here on WDRB Media, the voice of the community, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, my name is Maurice McDonald. If you've been listening to me for a period of time, then you know I've had 3 amazing careers as a law enforcement officer, as a professional school counselor, and now as a college professor, and now sharing this information on this platform to share this information. And of course, now this is 2026. Wow, you've had about 15 days now into a brand new year, and sharing some amazing information is what I want to continue to do throughout the year to be of value, not just to have a platform to say I've got one, because this really isn't about me. Because if you've been with me any period of time, you know the story of how radio came back 45 years ago. I wanted to be a radio and television broadcasting. Went to the Carolinas, to the broadcasting, majored in communications for a period of time in Hunter College in Manhattan, New York City. And life happened and I had to take a different direction. And wow, I had forgotten about radio, so to speak. And I wanted to do it, and my creator had a whole new plan for me. I had to go do something else, because oftentimes in life you got to have a detour. The best way isn't always a straight way. You go the way your creator tells you to go. So that's what happened to me, and wow, radio came back. And what can I say? I'm enjoying it and having this opportunity, and I hope I'm sharing some things to be of value to you, to enlighten you. And to communicate with me, go to mauricemcdonald.net, mauricemcdonald.net, and you'll be able to go there and send me an email and information and communicate with me. I can get back to you as well. But because this is 8 o'clock in the morning, I always start with my morning quote of the day. You know, I always start with this one, and this was from Will Rogers. Will Rogers said that just because you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So think about this. You'll hear people say from time to time, you need to get on the right track. And I want you to get on the right track. Be on the right track. Pray about what track you should be on. Seek counsel about the right track that you should be on. But don't get on that track and sit still, because you'll get run over sitting there. See, I don't want you just sitting still in 2026. It is time to put legs to your dreams, legs to your better new you, or better improved you. Whether it's getting in shape, whether it is you getting your health right, going back to school, completing school, whatever it is that you're supposed to do, get on the right track and get moving. Get moving immediately. Get moving scared. You might be scared moving, but keep moving. Because even if you think you're moving in the right direction and it turns out to be the wrong direction, at least you know now where not to go. Discover where you need to be. Get busy moving. And that is your morning quote of the day, brought to you by mauricemcdonald.net. mauricemcdonald.net. Go there and learn all about your amazing gut microbiome. Learn how that all disease begins in the gut, and you're taking care of your body is an outstanding thing that you need to do. mauricemcdonald.net. That's mauricemcdonald.net. Well, I am in the process now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been processing on a series that I want to start. And I think the best way to start it is right now. Not even thinking about it anymore, just processing it. I was I was listening to the motivational speaker E.T. Eric Thomas. Those of you may know him. If not, he's a fantastic man. He's a man of faith, but he's also a motivational speaker, and they call him a hip hop preacher. And he talked about when I was watching him and on a podcast, and he made a statement, and it just resonated with me. And he was talking about you belong. You see, there are a lot of times people in life will tell you you don't belong here. As a person of color or female, you don't belong here. This is an all male, profession, or you don't belong. People will quickly remind you that you don't belong. But deep down inside of you, you know you do belong. And not only do you belong, whatever's inside of you will not get rest. You can't get rest because it keeps stirring up in your spirit that I need to get busy doing what I'm doing. I'm on the right track, going back to my morning quote of the day. You know you're on the right track, but it won't let you go. Or you're not on the right track. You're in a job you cannot stand, and you're celebrating your 8th anniversary there. Come on. So you say, listen, I'm not doing what I really, really want to do. And what I want to do is really start a food truck. What I really want to do is go to barber school. I've always wanted to own my own hair salon. I've always wanted to be a welder. I've always wanted whatever it is. You've always, listen, God may be calling you to go to seminary. Maybe trying to get you to be a person of faith, a man of faith, man of the cloth, a woman of the cloth. But it won't, you've been running from it. And now you're thinking about, I need to go do this. And then somebody reminds you of your past. How are you going to be a preacher? How are you going to start a food truck? As bad as you used to be, you know what you used to do, the weed you used to smoke and whatever else, they're going to remind you, and you don't belong. You don't belong here. You don't fit in here. Well, I'm going to start a series, and I'm going to have some people joining me, and I'm kicking it off today. And this is entitled, You Belong. Because you do belong. You belong. Because people will always want to direct you in the wrong place. And my first point to talk about that you belong is, number one, belonging isn't decided by popular opinion. Let me say that again. You belonging is not decided by popular opinion. Just because people say, you don't belong, doesn't mean they're right. History is full of voices that were doubted because they were not celebrated. There were people who had voices that were silent, and people would doubt you. But see, they don't know who you are or whose you are. What I need you to focus on, you belonging has nothing to do with anybody else. And that includes family. Let me start right there. So if your family's listening with you, tell them look the other way, you won't talk about them. But doubting has nothing to do with what your family says, what your neighbor says, what your ex said, what anybody else says. Doubting that doubting, you have to forget about it. Because see, what was meant for you was not meant for the person that's doubting you. Let me say that one more time. What's meant for you and the space you're supposed to be in has nothing to do with the person doubting you. And people doubt you for so many reasons. Because number one, there are people who don't want to celebrate you. You see, if you have a mission, you've wanted to go to law school, you've wanted to do whatever it is, you want to start a business, whatever it is, people will doubt you, but that has nothing to do with your purpose. And that's the first thing in this brand new year. I need for you to get close to the radio, get close to what I'm saying to you, because you belong. Your belonging has nothing to do with anybody else's opinion. It has nothing to do with the popular opinion, because in the day of likes, I got 5,000 likes. I got 1,000,000 likes. I need you to not operate for the likes, but operate on the love and the love for yourself, the love for the direction you're going, for the love of the direction your creator's taking you, for the love that you've always had about yourself. Love the person. If nobody likes me and I love me, powerful, powerful. I win and you win. You see, that's the check. That's the check that you really want to cash. The love check, that you love yourself enough to tell yourself in 2026, regardless of what whoever says, my mama don't think I should do it. When you love mama, keep going to her house, having dinner, and just know that you belong. You belong. See, some of you right now, you are working in a place that you know you don't belong there. But I understand you have to be there for the finances. Okay, I get it. But what I need for you to do is to get to a place where you have prayed about it. Get to a place that you have seeked your higher power, that you've spoken to God about it, and you're telling yourself, listen, I don't belong here, and I need to step out on faith and go where I do belong, where you do belong. There's so many people that I've known who get stuck on college degrees. You got to get a 4-year degree in this and that, telling their children, and your child loves to bake cookies. You see, oftentimes we push our children in the wrong direction, baking cookies, so they want to go to culinary school. If they love to bake cookies and they want to bake cakes and pies, whatever, that leads them to culinary school, and that means they open a bakery. Hello. That leads to a whole lot of other whatever it is they do. They got their side hustle. They love baking things. So if they belong in the kitchen, let them stay in the kitchen. Don't try to put them at a 4-year university getting a master's, a PhD just because it pleases you. This ain't about you. Please step back. This is not about you. Let me use proper English for a little bit. Okay, this isn't about you. No, that's not me. I'm gonna keep it real, ladies and gentlemen. I know how to use proper English, and I also know how to keep it real and talk to people who listen to me. So understanding that belonging isn't decided by popular opinion. So dust off your dreams. I need for you to dust off your dreams, dust off your aspiration, dust off all the desires you've had over the years. I've always wanted to do this. I want dust them off, and don't focus on a paycheck, because a paycheck is what they give you to forget your dreams. I need for you to know that you belong. You decide, do your assessment. Every time a restaurant's going to be put in a certain location, they do an assessment. They do analysis of the community. Will this restaurant be a sale in this community? Is the land, and we need location. So I need for you to do an assessment of yourself, assessment of your circumstances, assessment of what you need to start. And now seek the information from people who may mentor you in that area. You got to work on you and know that you belong. Start with between your ears. First and foremost, look in the mirror and tell yourself that you belong. As a matter of fact, put that on a mirror every day, an affirmation that says, I belong. I know I belong. I'm in the right place. My God put me in this place. He keeps giving me this dream. He keeps giving me this vision. So therefore, I belong. And I'm not listening to what anybody else says today. I'm laser focused on what I need to do so I can accomplish what I said I wanted. Because first and foremost, I belong. So I need for you to understand that. So, second point, rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. Rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. You see, sometimes people reject you because they fear that your value, your worth is going to make them look bad. Ooh, you see, they don't want you there because you're going to show me up. You're going to come here. So rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. And make sure you move your fear out of the way. Because understand, I want you to know My mentor said to me, fail fast and fail often. Failure is part of your success. Nobody is an overnight success. Nobody is an overnight success. Think about the bamboo tree. The bamboo tree grows very slowly the first 4 to 5 years. But after that, that thing takes off and grows so many feet within 1 year, and it'll be 50 feet tall. Now, it took what it took, okay? It took an opportunity to start slow and go through some setbacks. But understand, this is part of your winning process. So rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. You must see your value. You must see your worth and say to yourself, I'm worthy. That part. Many people reject what they don't understand or can't control. That says more about them than about you. Oh, if you're looking in the mirror right now, I need somebody or if you're driving in the car, pull over. If you're at your desk, get that pen and paper and jot this down because you need this. I'm going to say it again for you. It says many people reject what they don't understand or can't control. That says more about them than it does about you. You see, when people don't understand something, they talk about it. They put it down. Or when they can't control you. When people cannot control you, they talk about you. But remember, they talked about Jesus. Come on. They talked about it. They talked about a lot of people. Think about all the first people to step out there to do something. The first woman pilot. Okay? Think about the first African American to do something. Everybody always try to talk about, why you talk about the first? Because number one, they're paving the way, which is why many people don't want you to belong, because there may be some more people coming that look like you. I need for you to understand, and I saw this post about 6 weeks ago, and I can't let it go. You see, that mountain that you're going over, that mountain you're climbing, that mountain is there for you to pave the way to show other people that it can be climbed. See, people may ask, why do people climb the mountains? Why are they going up there? Number one, it's letting people know that it can't be done. So whatever it is that you are going through, the struggle, they're talking about you, they're just all, oh my goodness, understand that you belong. And now on that, you're going to be the trailblazer. You may be the one that's stepping out, on faith and doing it. And you're letting those people know that I don't care what they say. I belong. I do belong. Push forward. Now, do your homework while you're belonging, because know this, there will be some obstacles. People will put obstacles in your way because, number one, this is part of the rejection. Fear. They may sabotage you. They've already paved the way ahead of you. They've denigrated your name. They're smiling in your face, and all the time they're stabbing you in the back. They're smiling. Oh, girl, I know you're gonna be good at this, man. I got your back. And the whole time they are just putting obstacles in front of you, and you don't know it. But your thing is, let me tell you this: you do your due diligence. Do your due diligence and be ready when the opportunity comes. Because some of you've heard this quote before, and if you heard the quote, shout it out back to me. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You stay ready for the opportunity for you to step out there because you know your worth. You know your value. As I said, many people will reject you because they reject what they don't understand, who they don't understand, and who they cannot control. But that's their issue, not your issue. Not your issue at all. So I need you to understand that and to know that you have some worth. You have some value. And you, number one, belong. You belong. I need you to truly walk on that. Stand on that 10 toes down to know that you are valuable. You are worthy. And that first point that I talked about was belonging isn't decided by popular opinion. The second one, rejection, often reflects the fear, not your worth. My third point is your persistence. Your persistence has purpose, even when it's questioned. Your persistence, number one, has purpose. Even when you are questioned, and people will question you to get you off track. People will question you to see if you really know or to try to disqualify you. Don't worry about them questioning you. It's okay. You ready for the answer, or you let them know I will get the answer, because you're going to do your due diligence. If you're in a space, conversation, or opportunity, there is often a reason you're there, even if it's not obvious yet. So if you're in a space, or you're in a conversation with someone, or you're having an opportunity, oftentimes there's a reason that you're there, even though it may not be clear to you yet. Because understand something, I'm going to be very transparent about myself. An area of growth for me is I have to stop trying to figure out and want to be the pilot when I don't have my pilot's license. What I mean by that is when my creator puts me in a situation and I don't know all the answers, I want him to tell me the answers before I get there. Kind of like the cheat code. No, sometimes you got to be in a situation and you got to hear something. You got to be around somebody to glean some knowledge from them. And you may not grab that knowledge till you're out of their presence. But in the moment, you listen. And listen with both ears. Mama told me once, boy, you got one mouth and two ears. You should listen more. I encourage you to listen to people. Listen to their conversations. Listen to who they're talking about. Listen to them. As a matter of fact, listen to what they're not saying as well. And have a good understanding of that individual or that situation you're in. For example, you may be on a job right now that you don't like. You're wondering, why am I on this job? You're on this job, or you're in this opportunity right now because you're going to meet somebody that's going to give you your next opportunity. You may meet a supervisor that is driving you. Oh my goodness. Listen, I had a supervisor once that I'm going to tell you what, I'll be in the bed thinking about it at night, and I could envision my fingers around his throat. I could just choke the life out of him. That's what I felt. Races and everything else trying to get me terminated. But what happened was I had to have that supervisor, because that supervisor and the whole chain of supervisors that I had, they were so horrible toward me, but it forced me to go get my master's degree. And that opened up new doors. So I was in a situation, and in the natural, I couldn't understand, oh God, why did you leave me? Why am I here? I'm in apartheid. I'm in South Africa. What's going on here? You see what they're doing to me. And the opportunity, I met someone who started talking about the master's program and counseling, those kind of things, and what I needed. And I said, and then someone said to me, if you had a master's in counseling, I'd hire you today. A principal at a school that I was working at the time. And that time I had an undergrad in criminal justice. I knew my worth, but I knew where I wasn't fulfilling me. And then I went and got my master's. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because I had to be in a situation to be uncomfortable. You see, your comfort zone is your broke zone. Along the process, along the time of you discovering that you belong, you're going to be in some situations that are going to be, and meet some people that are horrible. And guess what? You got to have those people in your life to push you out of that. And if you're comfortable right now, there's a problem. Because each and every day you got to be up hitting the ground running, because you know your worth, you know your value, and your presence and your purpose will be questioned. And if you're in a space or a conversation or an opportunity, there's often a reason you're there. even if it's not obviously known to you yet. But see, you got to keep your antenna up so that you can grab, you that have a sense of understanding. I'm here for a purpose. I don't know why I'm here, but this must be a reason. But you may meet someone or somebody give you some insight on something, and then you must act upon that. That is powerful. So if you're just tuning in today, we're talking about starting a series on belonging. You belong. Even when others say you don't belong, you don't fit here. You're the first, you're the youngest, or you're the oldest person to be in this position, or you're the oldest person in this space, or you're the first, or you're the female in this space. And then sometimes it don't add that young female. Oh, young black female or young white female. It doesn't matter what you're the first Latina to be in this position, or you're in a position that, number one, a woman has never been in charge of, and they're questioning you. Don't get all angry. Do you show them the new you and let them know that you belong? Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Did you know all disease begins in the gut? It's true. Your gut is the foundation of your entire health. When it's balanced, your body thrives. But when it's out of balance, everything from fatigue, weight gain, mood swing, and chronic illness begins. Your gut isn't just about digestion. It's home to trillions of bacteria that affects your immune system, your energy, and your emotions. The good news is there's P84. 84 fruits and vegetables organically grown all over the world into an amazing product designed to help you to feel better, designed to help you thrive and win. Simply go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauricemcDonald.net to learn all about P84 and get it in your system today. That's mauricemcdonald.net and learn all about your gut microbiome. We're back, guys, here on the It's About You radio show on WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I'm your host, Maurice McDonald, and we just finished our first segment talking about the topic we're talking about, a series I'm going to be doing, talking about you belong. You belong. The questioning. Sometimes you question yourself, do I belong in this situation? I don't belong there. Your belief system is broken and shaken because of what happened in the past. But others will try to tell you you don't belong. They'll tell you. And we talked about belonging isn't decided by popular opinion, and rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. And your presence has purpose. Even when it's questioned, people will question your purpose, will question you. And they'll try to put you down or expose your areas for growth. You notice I didn't say weaknesses. I need you to stop talking about weaknesses, because we have strengths and we have some areas for growth. And they try to show you. And remember, I said sometimes it's even family members will come in and try to discredit you, to make you feel like you're not ready, that you can't make it. Well, I want to pick up with what my next point to talk about in this situation is that growth rarely looks comfortable or right at first. Oh my goodness, growth. Let me say that again. Growth rarely looks comfortable or right at first. New levels feel awkward. If everything feels unfamiliar to you, it may be a sign you're stretching, not failing. Think about that now. In the new beginnings, I want you to imagine being stretched. And the example I give my students a lot of times, and I will come into class with a pair of pants that has the elastic in the waist, not wearing them, but having them in my hand. And I'll have a pair that has the elastic and it still works good. And if you're wearing those pants, they'll fit good because it's going to snap around your waist. But if I got the exact same pair and that elasticity is gone, that elastic in the waist has been stretched out of place, guess what? It no longer fits. It never feels good. You wear those, they're going to drop off and you're going to be exposing yourself. Well, guess what? I want you now to think about this. If you are in a new situation, it's going to feel awkward. Anything that feels unfamiliar to you is a sign that you're stretching, not failing. You see, once something is stretched, it can never go back to its original form. You can never go back to who you were. It's going to be awkward. You belong. Just know you belong in the midst of your awkwardness, in the midst of your confusion, in the midst of your doubt, in the midst of your fear, in the midst of you listening to the voices from the past. You know you're not that smart. You know those voices. What you doing here? You know, your brother told you you ain't the smartest, you ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer. All the questioning and the doubt. In the midst of all of that, you still say, I belong. I belong. History. If you go back to World War II, and even way long before that, but I'm taking the World War II, for example. The first African American fighter pilots, the Tuskegee Airmen. There was a time, and during that time, and even now, people still say they didn't belong. Simply because they're black men. Never mind that they were excellent pilots. Never mind they had been prepared. Never mind they're the greatest trainers. Never mind that they had so much to overcome. And they still shined. And if you understand history, it got to being a point to where their job was to protect the bomber planes in World War II from being shot down. They got to the point that the white pilots wanted those red tips. Those pilots. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. It's right there. They want, and they never lost a mission. Yet, people told them at that time, you don't belong. You black. You don't belong. It could be you're a woman. You don't belong. How dare you be in the pulpit preaching? You don't belong. And I'll take a scripture out of context and show you. You don't belong. Oh, hey, you're the shortest player in the NBA. You know, Spud Webb back in the day. Do your history on Spud Webb. Muggsy Bogues, 5'5", 5'3". NBA basketball players. You don't belong. We're 7 foot tall. You're 5'3". What are you doing on my court? You don't belong. See, if you look at it, this is why those short players had to pave the way for the other 5'8" players and the ones that went before them. Somebody's got to pave the way, but you must first believe that you belong. Because if you don't follow that thought of you belong, you start listening to all the excuses. So just know the new levels that you're going to be faced with, it's going to feel awkward at first. If everything feels unfamiliar to you, it's a sign that you are being stretched. That is important for you to understand that. And it starts that way. I need for you to do that and know that you're being stretched and that you belong there. It doesn't look comfortable to you at first. That's normal. That's good. Anything new is going to be awkward initially because I don't understand it. When someone says, well, that's easy to understand because you understand it. Of course, everything you understand is easy. But just know that when you step out there, growth rarely looks comfortable or you're in the right place at first. New levels feel awkward and everything is unfamiliar to you. But give yourself time, give yourself grace, and this is a good point. Good time for you now to have a mentor. Let me pause right now. Anytime, you can jot this down if you want to jot it down. Anytime you are embarking upon a new career or you're embarking upon a new project, you're embarking upon anything new, have a mentor. Find somebody that can help you avoid some pitfalls. But then you must be coachable, teachable, and be hungry. You know, motivational speaker Les Brown said, you got to be hungry. Exactly. You got to be hungry. Because if you're not hungry, number one, if you're in a situation, oh, thank you so much. Listen, if you're in a situation where you say you belong and you embarking upon something new, you got to know that I must be teachable. I got to be coachable. I got to take notes. I had a mentor once that said to me that if somebody stands in front of you and their check is bigger than yours, you should be taking notes. My professor said that in school. He said that whole point, he had 14 letters behind his name, and his whole point, he came in like he was somebody. And I learned so much from that man. I mean, not just from the classroom, the words he said in private to me, the words he said, don't never let nobody mess with your money. And the different certifications I have. He's the one that told me to do it. He also told me, he said, McDonald, if somebody is letting you ride their coattail, hang on, shut your mouth, open your ears, don't question, and ride. Yes, and I have never forgotten that statement. So my whole point is, things are going to look awkward. It's going to be difficult. Find yourself a mentor if you need to. Find someone to allow you to get up on their arms and be able to share some life with you, because you're in a new area. And your mentor may not look like who you think they should. Your mentor may be younger than you. Your mentor may be a different age bracket than you. Your mentor may be of a different gender than you. My point is, find somebody that's going to coach you in that area, that's going to help you and mentor you if you are teachable, coachable, and hungry for the new knowledge. Because remember, you do belong. You're not there, even though now there are people who will say things like, oh, you're hired because you're a DEI hire. That's a new whatever. But the idea of it is, the idea in the past, you know what the DEI was. I'm not going to get into a political debate about things, because things were unfair. Even the people who were qualified were not being hired. So there are qualified people who don't get in positions because you don't belong. They're going to tell you to belong because you're a woman, because you're this. They're going to tell you that you don't belong for whatever reason. You don't live on my side of town. You don't. You're not a good fit for us. And they don't even know your skill set, but they just don't want you there for fear of whatever they're going through themselves. So keep that in mind. That growth rarely looks comfortable or right at first. My next point. Belonging starts internally before it shows up externally. Man, I could have used this as my first point. But here it is. So belonging starts internally before it shows up externally. Ooh, my. That's kind of like what I've been talking about. How you have to see this. It says belonging starts internally before it shows externally. When you believe you belong, you show up differently. And that confidence often changes how others respond. You see, you got to have that air. You know, there's a saying, never let them see you sweat. Do it scared. But you show up and believe you belong, and you're going to look differently, show up differently. Show up with confidence, walk with confidence, shake hands with confidence, look somebody in the eye if need be. Change your words, how you speak. The words that come out of your mouth is nothing but positivity. And you're going to move in a different realm. You're going to have a different spirit about you. Your confidence often changes how others respond. Because number one, if you act like you know what you're talking about, talk like you know what you're talking about, that's half the battle. So it starts internally, which means defeating those negative thoughts from behind, from the past, all of your setbacks, your failures. You know, I have students that come to my classroom and they are so busy talking about their past. I mean, they are engaged into their past. I'm a convicted felon. I was a former drug dealer. You know, I've been divorced twice. You know, I all the negativity. I used to be a gang member. I used to be on the pole. I was a stripper. All the different things. I dropped out of high school in the 10th grade. I've got 3 children by 3 different fathers. I mean, whatever. I've heard lots of it. And in the natural, many of them are come in there with they're letting me know right away that they doubt themselves. They coming in letting me know that they're looking at the external, not the internal. And then I ask them, then why are you here? What's your why? And they start talking about this. Tell me about, how do you see yourself? I have that conversation with them. Now I need you to see yourself in the cap and gown. I need to see you someday in May, someday in December, you're going to graduate. Can you see that person? So going forward, you've had this information. I need you now to look in your windshield and stop looking in your rearview mirrors. See, the rearview mirrors are designed for a glance. So I need you to focus on and see yourself graduate. Now, it's going to be tough. It most certainly will be. And I'm not the only person you're going to talk to. I'm going to send you down for some remedial writing. You need this, you need that. I need you to, your education starts outside the classroom. You come in the classroom, yeah, you get that. But I need you after the classroom to go get your skills right. Because, and this is something you got to think about. See, it's hard to tell somebody you belong when your skill set isn't there. Hello. Your skill sets may not be there right now, but I need you to get your skill set right. I need you to walk in your gift, walk in your greatness. The way you look at somebody, eye contact perhaps. And I know culturally sometimes people is not good to look someone in the eye, but if you're out dealing with somebody outside of your culture and you want their attention, you want their assistance, you may need to step out of that culture for a moment and tap in so they be willing to help you. That's a good point. You know, it's in that whole point. Just believe you belong. And it starts internally between your ears. What do you say? Like I told you before, get up each morning saying you belong. Saying that you belong. Telling other people you belong. But let me go ahead and say this with you right away. Be careful who you tell your plans to. I want you to move in silence. I want you to be the stealth bomber. I want you to be the ninja, so to speak. You don't hear the ninja coming up on you until you knocked out. Okay, the ninja's already got you. I need you to let people know, oh, I didn't know you were born there. Why did you tell me? Because see, sometimes people are going to try to block your blessing, especially family, especially those people that are not in your corner. Because if you succeed and they're not succeeding, they interpret it as you making me look bad. And it ain't about them. It is not about them. I need for you to be careful who you tell your dreams to. Only to a select few, because you're moving in silence. You're in a different circle. You're not moving. And that's a powerful part about circles. Find you a new circle. Hang with the people that are going where you want to go. Not for the people who have no desire, and every chance they get, they're going to tell you to come back over here with us. Who you think you are, better than us? Because you're getting a little degree, because you going through this little program you're going through. It's always a little something. It's never big. And then later on when you make it, I knew you could do it. No, be careful who you share that with. Just know that you belong and operate in silence. Continue to do that. So, as I said before, that belonging starts internally before it shows up externally. And when it shows up externally, change your walk. I mean, shoulders back. Yes, I did the thing. I stood 10 toes down. Even with I've had a student who's getting her degree. It took 18 years because she's a single mom, has a child with a disability. So she struggled with a lot of things, and there was 4 or 5 years she had to stop because of health challenges from her child and working 2 jobs trying to make, and then develop a business. And so it took 18 years for her degree. And when she went across the stage, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I saw the joy. And they had her stand up at graduation. They told her story. Yeah, tears were in my eyes. Because, listen, she did the thing. She knew she belonged. And now, and 61 years of age on top of it. As a matter of fact, I may be having her to interview her to tell her story. Because guess what? You belong. and your posture. You're going to walk like it, talk like it, think like it. Even if there's a temporary setback, remember it's temporary because I am where I belong and I'm setting a new standard. Now, my next point, not fitting in can mean you weren't meant to stand out. Uh-oh. Not fitting in can mean you were not meant to stand out. Some spaces are built for your voice because your voice is meant to change the space. Let me say that one more time. Not fitting in can mean you weren't meant to stand out. Some spaces are built for your voice, because your voice is meant to change the space you're in. Do you know sometimes great companies have changed, cultures have changed because the right leadership came in and changed the culture. Sometimes you can change the atmosphere with you in. You can take some plain water, get some water, and then you put some food coloring in it. Guess what? It added whole new color. There was no color before. It was crystal clear water. But the food coloring, that green or that red, changed the whole atmosphere. It changed the culture. It changed the circumstances. It changed the environment. And oftentimes, you fitting in means you weren't meant to stand out, but your voice was to change the space. You can be a change agent. That's one of the things I say about myself. I am a change agent, an agent for change. As a law enforcement officer, I was a change agent. I wasn't just locking up bad people. I saw myself as a public servant. And if you don't see yourself as a servant when you should be a servant, you will become an abuser. You'll become a dictator. You'll become a person that's there to hurt people, not help them. Because how can you be a public servant, yet you don't want to serve people? That's a thought for somebody to think about that. There are people who are going to places of worship, and you go as a spectator. Every Sunday, every Wednesday, whenever you go, I'm not getting involved. I'm here to receive. I'm only a spectator. See my new suit. But you're not serving. You're not volunteering. You're not in there plugging to make the place better, to help the environment. That's for somebody. You've been going to a place of worship for 20 years and you're still not serving. You're a taker, not a giver. Oh, I love the Lord. Oh, yeah, okay, but I'm loving so much I'm not going to serve. Okay, hello. I threw that in the free for somebody. Somebody need to hear that. And that wasn't planned for me to share that today, but somebody need to hear that. So it basically says not fitting in can mean you weren't meant to stand out. Some places are built for the voice, are built for your voice, because your voice is meant to change the space. Because you come in there as a change agent. You come in there to help. Now, change agent doesn't mean you come and take over. Y'all got to do things my way. You do things decently and in order. That part, I want to clarify that. I don't want somebody coming thinking, that's right, I'm going to go in there and crash everything they got. They're going to do things my way. No, you have to observe things first. And be observant to what needs to be changed. Everything doesn't need to be changed. But in the idea that you come into that space where you see there's something needs to be changed, where the value isn't being added, and you come in and add the value. That's part of changing the space as well. Changing the culture, the whole mindset of the school, becoming a change agent. There's a story by the late great Stephen Covey. And one of the stories he tells is about a failing school, low-performing school, what we call a Title I school. Old schools, and many schools around the country have those schools. Well, a new principal came in. Kids was in a high crime area. Kids came to school dirty oftentimes, didn't eat well, all those kinds of things. So she came in, and the smell in the bathroom was horrible because of old bathroom, and there was urine smell, and it was in the concrete. And the custodian said he couldn't get the smell out. And she got some cleaning and got some bucket of hot water and some cleaning, some brushes. And she got down on her knees and scrubbed the floor. She scrubbed it. Left him. He went to do something else. Came back, and the floor was clean. And she said, do you smell it now? He says, not as much. So she scrubbed some more, and the smell was gone. So So now she changed the culture, and the word got around the school of how the new principal, got down on her knees and she's cleaned the bathroom. So now that custodian know, this can be done. So he became better, and the word got out, and teachers started doing things differently. Kids were coming to school in dirty clothes. So she was able to get the situation where they had a wash machine brought, and they were bringing volunteer clothes. Long story short, the kids' clothes got cleaned, washed during the day. They had put on some other clothes during the day, and at the end of the day, they wore the other clothes back. And the culture of the whole school changed. Test scores went up. So my point is, it takes one person to go and change things to become that change agent. And that is important.
As the years go by, the toll of time, the environment, and your daily choices add up. You see it in the mirror. You feel it throughout the day. Most turn to supplements to fill the voids left by modern life. But the truth is, supplements meet basic needs, but often fall short when it comes to restoring true cellular health. The answer to true wellness goes beyond supplementation. It lies within your cells, locked within your DNA. All you have to do is activate it. Born from 40 years of groundbreaking research, LifeVantage is the activation company. And as the authority in nutrigenomics, LifeVantage is leading the charge in cellular activation. Key ingredients in each formula are selected based on science that shows they can unlock your genes and the health coded within, optimizing cellular function just as nature intended. From the original discovery, which activates genes that reawaken your cellular defense system and reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, to the first of its kind collagen activator that increases collagen density by 100%, and the mind-body GLP-1 system, two powerful products that naturally activate GLP-1 to support habit change, mindful eating, and the foundation for lasting change. LifeVantage has pioneered a better approach to wellness that works with your biology, minimizing the impact of age and lifestyle choices, empowering you to live healthier, longer through the transformative power of activation. Turn back the clock. Reignite your body. Live life activated.
To learn more about your gut health and how to activate your body, go to mauricemcdonald.net. That's MauriceMcDonald.net, and learn all about activating your body, your gut health, with 84 fruits and vegetables organically grown all over the world. Again, mauricemcdonald.net, MauriceMcDonald, and unlock your potential today. We're back, guys, here on the It's About You radio show. We've been talking today about belonging. You belong, the series. This is the first one talking about you belong. And just a quick recap, we talked about belonging. It says belonging isn't decided by popular opinion. Rejection often reflects fear, not your worth. Your presence has purpose even when it's questioned. Growth rarely is comfortable or right at first, and belonging starts internally before it shows up externally. Not fitting in can mean you weren't not meant to stand out, because somebody said that your voice was meant to change the space. So we're going to pick up a little bit more here, and before we leave today, and share some amazing information. Hope you've been blessed by this information. But every breakthrough story includes resistance. So when people say that you don't belong, that could be some resistance. So every breakthrough story includes resistance from artists to leaders to everyday people, almost no success story begins with universal approval. Oh my goodness. How many people rejected Dr. Martin Luther King? Oh my goodness. Rosa Parks. Hello. Just go through history. Every breakthrough story includes resistance. So you must expect resistance. When you step out into arenas where people say you don't belong, if you expect the resistance, you're not going to be shocked. You're not going to be hurt because you already know I'm stepping into something totally new. But that means you got to put on your whole armor. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Got to put on your whole armor of faith, ladies and gentlemen. You got to go out there standing 10 toes down that no matter what comes my way, I will not stop. I cannot be defeated. They don't know who I am or whose I am. I am not going to back down. I'm ready for the battle. It's going to be a long battle. There are going to be some setbacks. Yes, there's going to be some obstacles. There's going to be people, there will be people talking about you. But just understand that every breakthrough story includes resistance. As it's talked about, any artist, any leader, or everyday people, no success story begins with universal approval. Nobody's going to say, we've been waiting for you to come and shake up the cart for us. We've been waiting for you to come in here and be a change agent. Anytime you hear something on a company, a new person coming in. I know in law enforcement, we had training officers, and the training officers would train the rookies. After they leave the academy, they ride with training officers for about 6-7 weeks. Then you go to a new training officer, all of that good stuff. That happens. And the first thing they would say is, back in the day, they would say, forget all that crap you learned at rookie school. We're going to teach you how to police. They would come in and try to teach you things that you shouldn't do. And then the next thing you know, a rookie comes in and they no longer with the training officer, and 3 or 4 years later, they're promoted to supervisor, a sergeant. And that person who's been here, I've been here 20 years. I trained that joker. I trained him. Now he the sergeant. I got 20 years experience and he got 5 years experience. No, what you have, 1 year experience, 20 years over. And that person who's been there 5 years, they came in and changed the culture. They came in and did something. They showed themselves. So there will be resistance. There's always going to be resistance. But that does not mean that you don't belong. I need you to wear resistance like a badge of honor. You get a medal. That's a gold medal. Put that around your neck. They resist me. But it's okay. I'm not going to get in my feelings. Act out of my character. I don't need to respond to everything. I need to walk in my principle, walk in my grace, walk in the glory that's set before me. I need to keep my eye on the prize and know that I belong in this situation. I belong in this platform. I belong in this space. I will not back down. I cannot back down. I'm not going to be cussing. I'm not going to act arrogant. I'm not going to act a fool because that's what they do. I'm going to kill them with kindness because I don't need to respond. See, some of y'all respond to everything somebody says. You see, period is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Standing on principle is a complete sentence. I don't have to get into, well, if you had done this, See, you see, how do you, friend of mine would say, how do you catch a fish? When you got a hook, when he opens his mouth. See, sometimes keep your mouth closed and let your actions do all the talking. And they want you to respond. They want you to get into the gossip and all that kind of stuff. Just know that you belong and you stand on your principles with it. You don't have to respond to everything. They know that you are worthy, that you can overcome everything, and that your purpose is your passion as well. Being able to stand and say, I belong in this setting. It's a new year. I belong. I don't care what they say about it. And if you got to go vent to somebody, go vent to somebody that's going to help guide you. Don't respond to the negative people, the negative Neds and negative Nancys. Don't get caught up in the gossip. Well, you know, they're talking about you on the job. Listen, they can talk. They have a right to talk. And they have a right to whatever they want to feel. But I do not have to respond. Neither you have to, because people who stand on purpose and people who belong don't get caught up in all the riffraff of what somebody else is saying that you ought to do and how you ought to do it and all that good stuff. You don't have to do that. Wow. I hope you guys have gotten something out of this today. This is our very first show we're going to be doing, talking about You Belong. I'm going to do a series on this because I truly believe that people are losing opportunities because they don't feel they belong. And I want you to follow me on my YouTube channel called the It's About You. It's About You radio show. That's it. Follow me there. Reach out to me on Instagram. You know Maurice McDonald 51. You can reach out and send me the email. Go to mauricemcdonald.net. Maurice McDonald, MauriceMcDonald.net. And you see other ways to reach out to me. Go there and take a look at that powerful gut health products that you get right there to help you. With that said, guys, we will see you next week. We're going to be here. I'm going to have a guest coming in. We're going to continue this topic of you belong, because you absolutely do. And by the way, I want you to know this. I love you, and there's absolutely positively nothing you can do about it. And with that said, we're going to see you all next week. Same time, same station, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the It's About You radio show, because we're going to be in the building.